I'm Matt McCutcheon here following breaking news. Good morning from a very quiet Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Investigators want to make sure the only screams are from the thrills of the rides, not from any dangers. That's why they'll be out here today looking at things on the rides right here, like these safety belts, these safety harnesses. New this morning and only on Sunrise, we're hearing from a attorney. The roads here definitely have that snow coverage here on the ground right now from part of that wintry mix, but I want to really give you an idea here when I go for the brakes right here in this area on this road. Did you see that? Did you hear that? Make sure you have plenty of water no matter what you do. And if you are coming here to downtown Indianapolis, this is about as close as you will get to, because you can see right over my shoulder, barricades are up. This is a situation that continues to unfold minute by minute. I want to draw your attention right now. Our attentions out here are really drawn to the sky right now. More specifically, that helicopter. You simply stop by here, drop off your unused or expired medication. I think our tunnel may be falling apart, but we got everyone here all ready to go. I think many of us are kind of scratching our heads thinking it's hard to believe that we are talking about back to school, but check this out, a surprising trend developing this year. $236 is what the average parent will spend on clothing for their children, and that is up compared to electronics. A tire, just part of several shots here fired early this morning. Take a walk with me right next door. You'll also see more glass damage right there to that front door. Here's where we got the drama. We've got the yes and the no. We've got the disagreement. Don't adjust your sets. This is going to be a bumpy ride. I feel like I start the day like this, and then after my first cup of coffee, I come to life like this. They all appear to be these manila-colored envelopes like you see right here with 6 of those U.S. flag stamps, and you can see right here how the addresses have been printed out. I want to draw your attention right here to this home where you can see that front door right there, the glass shattered as a result of gunfire. But I really want to take a walk with you right next door to this home that you're looking at right here and show you where the damage is even worse. And that is right here, right next door here with this car in the driveway. You can see the bullet holes right there in the windshield. And then underneath the car as well, you see where the radiator has been hit by gunfire. In addition to that, the front door of this home also shattered glass right there. We do know that one person has been taken to the hospital from this area, taken to the hospital in critical condition after being shot. Now, I also want to draw your attention to right here across the street, because right over here on the sidewalk area is where it is believed the shooter had been firing those shots. In fact, video shows the scene here, all of this unfolding just after 2:30 this morning. Police really looking in this area for shell casings, again, because they believe there was a man in this area firing those shots across the street, hitting 2 homes and that car, and then hitting a woman inside the home. Right now, it is unknown if they may know one another, if there is any information about that man. Right now, police have been talking to neighbors here in this area. They just left the scene a short time ago, but we do know that that woman has been taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police have that site protected and cornered off with those barricades in place. Here's what we are learning this morning. That plane was headed out of the Eagle Creek Airport in Indianapolis, headed to Green Bay, Wisconsin. When just a little bit into that trip, just after 7:30 last night, something went wrong, resulting in that plane crash. We know from police there are no survivors, but we do not know how many people may have been on that plane and if they may be from Green Bay or from the Indianapolis area. I want to bring in this picture now to give you a frame of reference of the plane we're talking about. This is a Cessna 441 Conquest aircraft. That's the type of plane that crashed here late last night. It's not clear what exactly happened when that plane crashed, but you know there is a large area that investigators will have to comb through today.
It started out hitting some trees as it was going towards the ground, but most of the debris ended up in a field now. You know, with the recent rains that we've had in this area, it made it pretty difficult for first responders to get to the crash itself.
It became all hands on deck. In fact, residents here from Carroll County helping up and giving their ATVs to investigators. That way they could make it out to that crash scene. Good morning to you. Let's talk about, first of all, Tara, in the off season, if you will, which is pretty much right now except for Valentine's week. Yep. What does she do?
She hangs out at home and eats. Pretty much is her job when she's not working.
Yeah, she's a former show horse. You can see if you pet her right here on the forehead, it kind of calms her. And I've learned that kind of keeping the head down like this is a very good sign. But let's take a look at the ride we're going to go on right here in downtown Indianapolis. The carriage itself right here, pretty expansive to say the least. We're going to hop in and take a ride. But real quick, I want to show you some information when it comes to when you actually plan to book your Valentine's treat for your honey. And we're finding that surprisingly, a lot of people enjoy doing that. It seems all the way after Valentine's Day. Check that out, 20-some% do that instead. So that's an interesting statistic we learned from you on our WTHR Facebook page. Out here live, the ride is underway. How far, or how fast, I should say, are we going right now?
3 or 4 miles an hour.
So not too fast. And in this day and age of really wanting to get there yesterday, right? This is a very slow, casual pace. And you say people actually enjoy that.
They do. It's a whole different view of the city at 3 miles an hour.
To say the least.
And people see things that they normally wouldn't see, the different sights of the city, and they really enjoy that part of it.
You're normally closed this time of year, but you're open for Valentine's Day. Kind of explain that process for someone who may want to go on a Valentine's week ride. There's history, there's controversy, there's everything going on when it comes to National Grilled Cheese Day. So we have a lot to talk about this morning. Turns out 67% of you on our WTHR Facebook page say a grilled cheese is no longer a grilled cheese when you add things like meat to it. It becomes a sandwich then. So that's the controversy this morning. Now to the history. Here are some grilled cheese facts that may surprise you this morning. While cheese and bread has been around for many years, the grilled cheese actually surfaced in the 1920s. On top of that, that's when it started as an open sandwich with just American cheese. Then it grew in popularity in the Great Depression during those lean years when people were desperate for money. And then the second slice of bread came into play in the 1960s, truly making it more of a sandwich. And now restaurants all across the country are getting creative, adding a lot of different things. And that brings us out here to the different sandwiches we have. That one right there you're looking at, that is from Pure in the Broad Ripple as well as the Fountain Square area. This has Swiss, Havarti, provolone, tomato, as you can see right there, as well as pesto aioli. So that's their take on the grilled cheese this morning. Next up, look at that ooey goodness right there. This coming from Roosters, just opened there in Mass Ave. That includes cheddar, Havarti, and Gouda cheese on there as well, all melted into a deliciousness right there. Now this one, I like it, but not with the pickle. The pickle to me adds a little controversy.
Okay.
This is from the Eagle on Mass Ave. This has 3 different cheeses all melted along with apricot preserves inside there with Granny Smith apples. One of the big focuses on CBD oil actually ended up blooming into 2 different bills in the final days of this year's session. Senate Bill 52 allows for the use and sale of it, which received overwhelming approval late Wednesday and now heads to the governor's desk for his signature. It does not, however, offer a clear definition of the manufacturing process and may need some added details. Then there's this one, House Bill 1214, which really became a hot mess, starting as a CBD oil bill and then veering off to become a bizarrely reworked bill focusing on guns in churches and schools. The bill with an identity crisis didn't even get a vote this session. 10 minutes after midnight, as the gavel came down and cheers could be heard, that bill is one of a handful that did not get a vote from lawmakers. Also included are bills that would have addressed school safety, increased gun rights, and make adjustments to the tax system.
Needless to say, it was a disappointing finish to the session in terms of how it ended. Obviously, a lot of things did get passed.
Those are sentiments shared on both sides of the aisle. It includes items like Sunday sales, which did get passed and may be part of the most famous part of the legislation this year. Now, Governor Holcomb says there's still work to be done, adding, quote, "I'll look at all that can be done to complete unfinished business, whether that's by administrative or legislative authority if needed."